I'm Ramona Wurst with Ramona's Basil Garden, and today we have a treat for you. I am here with Jack, and we have been touring his olive farm. And Jack, just tell me a little bit about why Texas and what you grow here exactly.
Texas, I didn't choose Texas because it was growing, we wanted to grow olives. I was actually here in the computer industry. I originally had intended to put a vineyard in, but back then they had a lot of limiting rules having to do with dry counties, and you couldn't have a vineyard in a winery. And I saw a reference to growing olive trees, and I'd been around the trees my whole life and had traveled to many parts of the world where they grew them, so I figured it would be kind of interesting to do. And it had been attempted about 50 times over a 10-year period, and nobody was successful. And I thought it was not only an interesting challenge, but I really like olive oil and had been around, like I said, orchards my whole life and thought it'd be an interesting project. So that's why I'm here in Texas. This is an area that I thought we could do it.
Well, great, and you know that with our basils that we make a lot of pestos, and we have learned so much about the different qualities of the different olive oils, and it is just so fascinating. If you just want to briefly just give us just a quick little lesson on that.
Well, the critical factor with olive oil is a combination of chemical characteristics that differentiate the different qualities. And the biggest single thing is that a really high quality, good tasting olive oil has a very low amount of saturated acidic fats in it. And that's also why it's good for our heart and our blood serum cholesterol balancing. But a good olive oil is low in acidity, and it has a good fresh flavor. Generally, what we might refer to as a leafy or a green flavor. That's really the key to it. And normally, if it's fresh, it'll have a little peppery sensation to it. And that peppery sensation is really important because I make pesto, for instance. In the pesto, I can reduce the amount of salt that I put in the pesto. I can reduce the amount of the intensity of other flavors because the olive oil actually adds some flavor to it. And that's an important consideration. The more processed olive oils, referred to as pure olive oil, are generally made through a refining process, and they're not as flavorful if they have any flavor at all. And they're generally designed for cooking purposes where you're going to fry something.
Oh, okay. Well, I know with growing the different basils, I've got over 60 varieties in my personal collection, and I know that you were talking about all of the different olives that you have. How many varieties of olives do you grow here?
We grow 16 different varieties.
Uh-huh. And your most productive is?
Well, the one that we grow most of is the California Mission olive, and that's a tree that has proven to be a very sturdy tree. It's vigorous. It grows vigorously in the environment that we have here. It'll survive very intense freezes that we get, and it produces the best and most consistently.
Now, you were saying something very interesting on how long an olive tree actually lasts and when it starts producing. And, of course, these olive trees are going to be way past our lifetime.
Right. Well, an olive tree is what we call a monoecious tree. That means it does not need a pollinator. And one tree by itself, somewhere between the age of 5 and 10 years of age, will begin to produce flowers and then fruit. And once it does so, it'll do so virtually every year for between 3,500 and 4,000 years. It is truly the longest production plant that mankind supports.
Wow. Oh, you'll give us just an address or a website that we can go to?
Well, our website is www.texasoliveoil.com, all lowercase. And we're at 3101 Mount Sharp Road, Wimberley, Texas, 78676.
Great. Now, you do the tours during the weekend hours?
Right. We give tours open to the public on both Saturdays and Sundays. And we will, if there's a group, usually we'll do a tour, a group of 12 or more people on a custom basis anywhere from Tuesday through Thursday.
And then, just like tasting fine wines, we also did an olive oil tasting. And it is so interesting, and you've got to come out and see him. Just come out and visit Jack and his wonderful olive grove. I'm Ramona Wurst with Ramona's Basil Garden, and we have been here with Jack, and we have been at his wonderful olive grove.
The Bella Vista Ranch, located at 3101 Mount Sharp Road, Wimberley, Texas, 78676, and you can visit us on our website, texasoliveoil.com, and that has directions from places like San Antonio, Austin, and from, of course, the square at Wimberley, which is the easiest way to get here.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And it was a pleasure. And the olive oils are just wonderful. I cannot wait to try them in one of my pestos.